Howdy folks, Jeremy here. I've been busy working on this robot arm. Thought I'd share it with you and just kind of walk you through some of the things I did. For the circuitry, I just used a Arduino Mega, and I made up a little perf board, circuit board, and this is a Pololu 9 amp 5 volt step down regulator, and I have the whole system running off just a 13 milliamp 3 cell LiPo. Servos are just your kind of generic cheap servos, and then these are the standard size, and then I've got two minis on the jaws. Everything's 3D printed. Jaws are kind of just the generic kind of robot jaws. I just copied off images that I saw on the web, and they seem to work pretty good. The turntable underneath there, I mounted the turntable off the servo off to one side and geared it, and there's I just got a ball bearing in the middle there, that way it doesn't load up the servo, and I can put plenty of weight on there and not have to worry about it bending the shaft or anything on the servo. So controlling it, I've got just your parallax thumb sticks. It wasn't really my intention to put tracks on it and have it mobile, but that's kind of the way it ended up, and that's why I've got this odd one on poking out the front here. So driving the tracks, I've just got a couple of continuous rotation servos. So I don't know if you can see in there or not, in this idler here, or idler adjuster, I've got a main bolt that pushes. It's threaded in this end, and then it just turns in this end. And so as I wind the head of the bolt, which is inside here, it winds the track adjuster out, and then I can lock it off with the nut on the other side. These two, there's one here and one in the back here, they are threaded into here, and they slide in and out through here, and that just stops it from spinning around or moving. So they basically they just hold it straight. The chain links, I printed all the chain links separate, and then I just chemical welded the grousers on once the links are all put together, and I just used a bit of aluminium. It's actually TIG wire for the pins to go through each chain link, and then I just mushroomed over the ends on both sides and gave them a bit of a file up so they wouldn't catch on anything. As far as the arm goes, I chose to mount the servos back as far away from the end of the arm as I could. That's why I've got these rods controlling it. That way it's less work to lift the servo. There's less weight. If I was to put this one up here and then that one down there, then it all increases the weight on the end of the arm, which makes it even harder for the main servo to lift servos to lift the boom. So I started out with one servo in here, but quickly realised that it was pretty limited to what you could actually lift, and when the arm was fully extended out, it would struggle to lift just even the arm up off the ground. So I ended up putting an extra servo in here, and it has no trouble at all lifting pretty much anything you can grab hold of. The one that does kind of let it down now, that if you do have a very heavy load, is this servo here. This one here. If you pick up a pair of pliers or something like that, it kind of struggles to lift it right up. But you can normally do it by putting it down and lifting that one first, and then lifting it up. So the code I used was made from a very helpful guy on Arduino forums. He's started this code, I believe, for someone else, and I reached out for help on the forum, and he stepped up. So a huge thank you to Dwayne. Basically, the only thing that I've done to the code that differs from his original is change the number of servos in use and add the pins and what have you to the arrays that he's put in there. So I'll upload this code as it is on the end of my thread that I started on the Arduino forum, and I'll put the link in the description for you.